A Plaguelands Media production.
Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media bringing you another book review today. Today I'm going to be talking about a book that has been on my radar for a long time, but I just never got around to reading it. So this is Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House. This is a book that is quite famous. Even Stephen King, in his book on horror called Dance Macabre, said, "As nearly perfect a haunted house tale as I have ever read." Neil Gaiman said it's one of the scariest books that he has ever read. It has been adapted into two films, one I believe in 1963, the other in 1999 with Liam Neeson, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Luke Wilson, or Owen Wilson, one of the Wilsons. Anyway, this book came out in 1959. It is a haunted house story. Not much else to say about that. So, yeah, let me just get right into the next episode of... So a lot of people have raved about this book over the years. When it first came out, Shirley Jackson was considered a master of the craft. In 2018, the New York Times put it on one of their lists as one of the best horror novels ever written. So how does it shape up? This book is a slow burn. The basic premise is there is a doctor of like the supernatural. He wants to investigate any hauntings that might have occurred in this Hill House. So he gathers a group of people together. We have Eleanor, who is effectively our main character. When she was a child, she experienced this psychic phenomena where rocks just pelted down on her house. Her mother tried to hide the fact that it happened from her, claiming that it was just like the neighborhood people who were jealous throwing rocks at the house. We have Theodora, who has some latent psychic abilities. She's a bit of a snob. Interestingly enough, it's kind of hinted that she's also a lesbian, which is kind of a very early pro-queer take on a character. However, you can read it whichever way you want. It doesn't really matter. We also have Luke. Now, Luke is the nephew of the owner of Hill House, the current owner of Hill House, and he's a bit of a cad, bit of a womanizer kind of a thing, and he is simply there because the doctor made a deal with the owner of the house that at least one person in the family should be there while you are staying over the summer to investigate any goings-on. Hill House is reputedly haunted. It has a tragic history of, let me just bend that down a little bit. There we go. It has a tragic history. The guy that built Hill House, this person called Hugh Crane, his wife, as he was taking her to Hill House, the carriage overturned and she tragically died. So he built this house for her and his family, but she never really got a chance to see it. His two daughters were kind of raised there, and ultimately he is a neglectful father. They're pretty much left to their own devices. He goes off on a honeymoon with one of his new wives. He marries multiple times, ends up dying. The sisters fight over the house. The elder sister gets it, I believe. The younger sister is bitter about this. And the elder sister, she's a spinster. She gets a young girl from the village to come and kind of tend to her needs. Not in that way. And that's when these kind of hauntings or strange happenings start. And ultimately, their house gets passed down to the new owners, who are relatives of the young girl that is from the village that goes up there. So that's kind of all the backstory. So you have this psychic investigator, two possibly paranormal characters, and then the nephew. And you get this very great character dynamic between all of them. We find out that Theodora is a bit of a attention getter. The doctor, ultimately, his wife and a school principal come to stay in the house, and we find out that the doctor is kept under her thumb. She's a bit of a fucking bully. His wife, of course. Eleanor is very nervous and shy and kind of an introvert because she looked after her mother who was dying, while her sister and her sister's husband kind of did nothing. There are hints of haunting and supernatural phenomena in the book, but they really are few and far between. Most of the book is this character dynamic and character building, and it's very, very slow. It is an incredibly slow book. Does that make it bad? Not at all. I enjoyed it. I really did. Is it one of the scariest books that I've ever read? No. However, I want to caveat that with the fact that I've been reading horror novels since the 5th grade. This is just a fantastically written novel with a great ending. Not going to spoil the ending for you. You can kind of see it coming. It's basically a descent into madness kind of thing. But yeah, just a really good book. As a horror novel, wouldn't give it two shits. As a novel, go out and read this. This is a very well written, fantastic character study and thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyable. So that is Shirley Jackson, The Haunting of Hill House. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit that notification bell, take a drink, of course. Got to have a drink. But stay safe. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And just, I don't know,